Do you ever feel like the success you've achieved isn't really for you? You get there and you're looking around and everyone's telling you how wonderful you've done, how great you're doing. But the reality is it doesn't actually feel right for you. It doesn't feel like home. It feels like someone else's dream that you've just inhabited. And I remember I worked with a client very recently, and she had this experience of actually doing really well when it came to high ticket sales. And everyone was telling her, "You're doing amazing. This is where you need to be." But the truth was, it didn't really feel like what she wanted. It feels like what everyone had told her was the right thing to want. And so we did a little bit of a session together and we explored what's underneath this, right? What's the map that's creating this to begin with? Because she's experiencing these symptoms of, I just feel out of sorts. I feel like a lot of dread when I want to go into work and I want to go into calls. What's creating this? And we did a little bit of exploration and we found this map where she really felt like she had to perform for others. She had to do what the world around her was telling her to do. And because of this, she had taken on roles that didn't feel like her, that didn't really get what she wanted, but looked good on the outside for others. And so we did a little bit more digging. And we found this introject that's a false truth that she had taken on very young, about 5, 6 years old, from a parent, that she had to perform for them, that she had to do what they say to essentially receive love. And so we just gave that back and we let that leave her and just go back to the parent. And then what we do is we just notice what emerges in the space left behind. We're not trying to add, we're not trying to push a new belief. We want to just witness what emerges, right? And for her, it was this peaceful, playful, loving joy. Oh, I can just sit here as I am, as me, in this loving joy. And we didn't rush up to the original problem. We stayed just with the experience that was emerging right there and then, letting that unfold, letting that be nurtured, letting that be celebrated. And it just got stronger and stronger and stronger. Until her whole body, her whole mind was just feeling this playful, loving joy. Without that old model, without that old idea that she has to perform for love in any way. It was just natural, this love, this joy, this playfulness was just very natural. We didn't add it. It just arose organically when the old thing was gone, when the old introject was given back. And then as this strengthened, we took our time, real time here, because we don't need to rush into the original problem, because that's just a leaf of a tree. We want to play with the roots. We want to play with the trunk. But we do eventually get to the leaves. And we just notice, well, what changes about the problem now? And what she started to experience was, oh, actually, I don't hate this. This isn't for me, but I don't hate it. And so what she was able to do was really be in the work she was doing that was doing really well for her externally, and use that to build the next project that was actually much more aligned for her, right? Her own business, and doing something that's truly aligned with her gifts and what she truly wants. And yet there wasn't the dread, the aversion for doing what she was doing right now. She was able to kind of not go either or, not have to just do these crazy jumps. She was able to just be in harmony with what's here right now and yet build for something that's much more aligned, because this peaceful joy was stabilized. She wasn't generating dread anymore. She could see that it wasn't truly aligned for her, She could see that there was something more, but she didn't have that knee-jerk reaction of, I must run, I must escape, which is often actually what leads us into getting into confusion and often making mistakes, right? Because often when we're in this excellence trap, it's tempting. We either stay in it where we're doing really well and we have the resources, or we jump out. But very often, neither is the solution, and we actually want to use that excellence, use those resources to leap into what we actually want to do, right? To kind of build the staircase to actually do the thing that's aligned for us, that's within our gifts, whatever that may be. But we don't need to throw out the baby with the bathwater. And that's what emerged for her. And the reason it emerged is when you have these internal constructs, right? When this situation is being filtered through performing for love, it's going to be a lot more emotionally complex. And you're going to get a lot more dread. You're going to feel that you want to run away. And yet when that story is gone, we're able to listen to our real gifts, but we're able to do it in a way that we don't need to rush. We're not having incredible aversion. We're able to remove the costume without running away from it. And this is very different to just constantly reacting to aversion that arises for us, to running away from it. And this is the most important thing for people who are very successful, because when you've got there, you don't realize the amount of external freedom that comes with having genuine resources. I worked with a wonderful human and a really good friend of mine, but they had done the wrong thing. They had been extremely successful. They had that knee-jerk reaction and they just left it all, burned it to the ground, and actually got into a real trouble financially, right? Where they didn't have a home for a little bit. And they're doing amazing now. They've really come out of it, learned a lot of lessons, and really integrated the two. But he tells me that all could have been avoided. It was completely unnecessary. That internal shift, that deep fulfillment, that alignment wasn't out here, it was in here. And when it comes in here, we can navigate the external world much easier with much less jumping and leaping and burning things to the ground. We just navigate it easily. And if he had done that, if he had known that, it would have caused a lot less suffering for him. But that was his journey. That's what he had to go on. And yet, if you're exploring this now and you're noticing, well, this doesn't feel aligned. This isn't right for me. But I don't know what I want to do next. I don't know what I want to what is right for me. Then it's not about out here. It's about fixing the map that created the problem in the first place, that created this confusion, that created this aversion. When we do that, the external becomes much more easy to navigate. And we often get to keep and integrate what we've already done, the success we've already had, with the freedom that we want to amass internally as well. We want to have that external freedom, genuine resources, genuine, having a business or being in sales can give you real, genuine time freedom. But we also need the internal freedom as well. We want absolute freedom, absolute liberation. We don't want one or the other, because it's not fun having deep internal freedom, feeling really at peace, but having no resources to actually do anything. And it's also not fun to have all the resources in the world, have all the time in the world, and yet feel deeply unfulfilled, to feel trapped in yourself, to feel like there's a cage on you in your own heart. We want both. We want that deep internal freedom with the external resources to give us external freedom too.